back to episode 30 and we are in the Premiership. We are finally in the Premiership. 30 episodes in and we have finally hit the Premiership. So, in this episode, it's the beginning of the new season. It's the beginning of the Premiership as you know it. And I am going to be doing what everyone does at the beginning of any new season. So, I'll be buying and selling, scouting some players, just improving the squad all around. Champagne is most likely going off to Blackburn if the correct amount of money is agreed. Unfortunately, they would not budge on 500k, so $500,000 is good enough for me. He's not a key player for me, and for this season I need to improve my squad. I need to bring in new and better players. I can't keep bringing in fringe players. So, this is going to be one of the key players for this season. He will probably be cover for Besant. He's only a few overalls lower than Besant, which is great because they're about the same level in quality. And what you'll see in a second is Besant actually gets injured in training and I lose him for 7 weeks. There it is, 7 weeks out. So ideally I need to sign this player. I need him to join, and I think he probably knows that at this point because he does not budge on that wage, and I have to up the wages a few times before he actually agrees to join us. So I am simming all of the friendlies like I always do. There's no need to show these because they are not important. I didn't want to pay 15 a week. I thought that was a little bit too much. 71 overall, 20-year-old. He will increase in overalls, but he will not be getting regular gameplay. Oblak has to cover as right back, which, as you know, kit number of 40 normally means that I don't want him in the squad. He should have been gone years ago. He's not good enough for Luton. I agree with 15 grand a week, which isn't massive in the Premiership, but it is a huge budget in the Luton wage amount. As you can see, there's only a few players that are above, let's say, 5k, including Benitez, who came from Arsenal, so he's expecting a high wage. The Rock at the back, he's on 25k, but that's because Roma bumped it up. Besant is on 15, so I don't really want both my right backs on 15k a week. That's a little bit over the top. So at the moment, I am just looking at the players that I need and I want, and I'm looking at the key players that I need to sell, make a little bit of money, bring it in to make more funds, because they only gave me 1.9 mil into the new season. It's my first season in the Premiership. 1.9 mil is not a lot of money. There you go. So 15k, and he's an important player. He actually signs for us, which is fantastic. You'll see in this episode that there are quite a few players come and go. A lot of them go out on loan because I like to see if they can improve and if they can do some benefit for my team, or just do that a little bit different. Sometimes there's a player that might not have the best overalls but scores 30 goals a season. For example, Vardy in the Premiership beat a record that Van Nistelrooy did back in 2002. He's been fantastic this season. He's been fantastic for my whole City career mode on FIFA 16. He's an amazing player, and ideally I'd love to have a player like that in my Luton team. Korea's been doing it for me at the moment, but he does get injured quite a bit in this career. So ideally I'd like a backup Korea, and I don't have one of them. So the first game into the Premiership, as you can see, is against Newcastle. The Newcastle game was fairly exciting for me to play. It wasn't that exciting to watch when I was editing this. I had quite a few good chances. That was offside. Unfortunately, it ended 0-0. First game in the Premiership, 0-0. It is a point in the Premiership. Only way that could have been a better Premiership start is with a win, but I didn't lose, and that's all that matters. So as you can see, I agree some terms, I disagree with some terms. Kim wanted to leave and then decided he didn't afterwards, which I don't really understand how that works, but I'm not complaining. I want him as my CDM until this season has ended, until this career has ended. Shenton goes out on loan to Millwall. I really like that player, but he's just a little bit... He might be a key player come December or January. He might be a key player come next year. I'm not too sure what happens to Shenton at this point. So the second match in this episode, the second match in the Premiership, is against Stoke. And honestly, I thought I had this in the bag. First 10 minutes in, and then this happened. He runs through 6 of my defenders, gets past the keeper. Yes, it's my fault I bought the keeper out. Yes, it's my fault that my defence was so bad. But that's how hard the Premiership is. And normally my keeper would be out, taking a slide tackle about there, and being that little sweeper that I need. Unfortunately, he didn't do it. I don't know if it was Premiership nerves, but it got from bad to worse. And I thought I'd go for a quick run down the wing and score an equaliser. That's normally what happens. If I can get to the final third of the pitch, I can score a goal. Didn't happen in this match, and unfortunately Stoke went back on the attack, managing to run past most of my defence. As you can see, they are abusing that right back position, and scores a free header. 2-0, 15 minutes in is not the start that you want. At this point in time, I honestly thought there was no chance of coming back, and then Korea does that on the 45th minute. And like I said a few minutes ago, I need a backup Korea because this guy is so important. He's a guy that can turn a match around in seconds. There you go. There's his second goal in this match. If Korea does not score 15 goals this season, I feel like I have let him down personally. This guy should be scoring 20 goals in the Premiership. He has been fantastic. And yet again, he goes on a run on his own, goes past the defence and scores a hat-trick. Second game in the Premiership, and he scores a hat-trick. This guy should be playing for a top 4 team, and come next season, that's where I want to be. I want to be a top 4 team. My personal target for this season is to finish in the top 8. Then come next season, I want to finish in the top 4 and do something in Europa, and worst comes to worst, in the 3rd season in the Premiership, I want to win the double, the Premiership and the European trophy. So as you can see, we win the second game 3-2. It was a challenge and a half, but we finally win a game. We've got 4 points out of a maximum 6. Barcelona go in for Ashley Boyce, who is a former school pupil that was in my year. It's the only reason I signed him up. Same thing that happened to Burke. Bought him because of a name, sold him and made a huge amount of profit, and that's what I'm going to have to do with Boise. 3rd game into this episode, 3rd game in the Premiership, and look who's back in the Premiership, QPR. I'll show you the highlight of what happened there. So basically my player's come in late with his lovely pink boots on, takes the left leg and basically makes the QPR player tackle himself. Yeah, brilliant. So yeah, I saw this guy play on his debut for QPR against, I believe it was Fulham, and he was fantastic. He got sent off, but he was fantastic for what moments he was on the pitch, and he always seems to score against me on FIFA. If it wasn't a youth squad season, I should be signing him up, or I would be. Rufer does what he does best. Haven't seen him score for a few episodes now. 47th minute makes it 1-1. I didn't know why man was at QPR. I don't know if that's in real life or if he's left Villa in real life even. But as you can see, it's the final minutes, final whistle's blown, and it's another draw. That's 5 points in 9 as total. Barcelona come in with a very, very, very strong 31 mil bid for a left back. Dan Tung is not being sold no matter what number they put in front of me, so I offered them a high amount as a counter offer of 75.5 mil, and they rejected it. And the last few signings, as you can see in front, are some loan transfers. With the last little bit of money that I have left over, I sign in a few cover strikers, looking for that future career player. So yeah, basically I will not sell Tongue. He was here from the start and he's never let me down. He's been fantastic. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video or any of my other content, please hit that like button, sub to me if you are new, and please leave some feedback below.